Right now, an Australian woman is murdered every 4 days, mostly by her partner. Indigenous teens are hanging themselves in record numbers. Children are still locked in offshore prisons. The reef is bleaching again this month. This isn't history. This is Australia today, and it's killing people as you watch. If that just punched you in the gut and you're still breathing, prove the world still needs the truth. Subscribe to Decoded X, smash like, share this before they bury it, and drop the number that broke you. Let's bleed together. Decoded X doesn't chase ghosts. We chase the bodies still warm. You think Australia is safe. It isn't. Right now, while you watch this, a woman is being murdered by the man who promised to love her. A child in the desert is tying a belt to a ceiling fan. Another child, born in an offshore prison, is cutting his arms with a plastic knife. The reef outside Cairns just turned ghost white this morning. This is not history. This is not somewhere else. This is modern Australia breathing now, and it is choking on its own blood. 10 open wounds, 0 mercy. Decoded X starts the autopsy now. Let's dive in and explore the darkest Australia. Number 10. One woman murdered. Every 4 days, since 2023, an average of 89 women per year have been killed in Australia. One every 4 days. Over 70% by a current or former partner. Hannah Clark and her 3 children were burnt alive in a Brisbane car in 2020. The killer had no prior convictions. In 2024 to 2025, the numbers rose again. Police admit 1 in 6 domestic violence call-outs end with officers leaving the abuser in the home. Refuges are turning women away nightly. Bail laws still release high-risk offenders. Courts hand out good behavior bonds for choking women unconscious. The national plan costs billions, yet the body count climbs. Right now, as this video plays, another woman is statistically being murdered. And tomorrow, there'll be another headline no one remembers by lunch. The next killer is already inside someone's house. Number 9. Ice and meth, psychosis epidemic. Australia has the highest per capita methamphetamine use in the English-speaking world. The price of a point of ice dropped below $50 in 2025. Hospital admissions for meth-induced psychosis have tripled since 2019. Paramedics are stabbed, nurses assaulted, and entire EDS locked down weekly. In regional towns, children walk past ice zombies on the way to school. Wastewater testing shows Brisbane, Melbourne, and Adelaide breaking their own records every quarter. Treatment beds, less than 600 nationwide. Dealers import tons through ports, while the border force seizes less than 5%. Psychotic users commit random stabbings in Bondi Junction 2024 and church attacks in 2025. The drug is now so pure that one hit can trigger permanent schizophrenia. Whole suburbs smell like cat urine at night. And the next shipment just cleared customs. Number 8. Indigenous youth suicide crisis. Right now, in the Kimberley, children as young as 11 are killing themselves at the highest rate ever recorded anywhere on the planet. In some towns up here, funerals replaced birthday parties years ago. Official 2024 to 2025 numbers. 47 kids under 17 dead by their own hand in just 2 years. The national average suicide rate for teenagers is tragic. Out here, it's more than double and still climbing. The government spends $11 per person per year on mental health in these communities. That's less than the price of a bottle of wine. Psychologists are supposed to fly in once a fortnight. Most flights never leave the tarmac. Kids who self-harm are flown hundreds of kilometers to the nearest hospital bed, then sent straight back to the same empty houses. One 14-year-old girl hanged herself the same week politicians in Canberra released another glossy Closing the Gap report that admitted the gap is actually getting wider. These aren't statistics. These are kids who used to ride bikes and chase lizards. And tonight, somewhere under a tin roof in the desert, another child is quietly looping a belt through the ceiling fan while the rest of the country sleeps. Number 7. Children still in offshore detention. As of October 2025, 87 children remain in indefinite immigration detention, some born inside the system. Nauru and PNG camps reopened quietly under third country processing. Leaked medical files show chronic PTSD, bedwetting into teenage years, and self-harm scars covering arms. The Human Rights Commission called it state-sanctioned child abuse. Successive governments from both sides keep the policy. Detainees cost $573,000 per person per year, while refugees in the community cost $12,000. Suicide attempts are daily. One 12-year-old sewed his lips shut in 2024. The UN says it violates the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Australia is the only nation that mandatorily detains children who arrive by boat. And another plane of new arrivals just landed. Number 6. Heatwave deaths exploding. The 2024 to 2025 summer broke every record. Marble Bar hit 49.7 degrees Celsius. Adelaide 46 degrees Celsius for 7 days straight. Coroners logged 874 excess deaths during heat events, mostly elderly, homeless, and outdoor workers. Homelessness rose 22% since 2022. Rough sleepers cook on concrete at night. Construction workers collapse on sites with no shade or mandatory breaks. Energy prices spiked so high that pensioners turned off aircon and died quietly in flats. The Bureau of Meteorology warns 50 degrees Celsius days are now likely before 2030. Insurance companies are already red zoning entire postcodes. And the next heat dome is forming over the interior right now. If this shook you even slightly, don't blink. The worst is coming. Subscribe to Decoded X and stay with me. Number 5. Gang wars in broad daylight. Sydney and Melbourne recorded 78 public shootings in 2024 to 2025. Middle Eastern crime families in Comanchero and lone wolf bickies fight over cocaine routes, machine guns in shopping center car parks. A 15-year-old was executed outside a gym in 2025 while filming TikTok. Gold Coast nightclubs hire armed security with body armor. Drive-by shootings hit the wrong houses. A mother of 3 was shot through her kitchen window while cooking dinner. Police admit they've lost control of certain suburbs after dark. The encrypted app AN0M takedown in 2021 only created vacuum wars. Kids are recruited at 14, and the next hit is already contracted. Number 4. Housing crisis killing on the streets. Median Sydney house price, $1.4 million. Rents are up 47% since 2020. 122,000 Australians are homeless nightly. 28% are under 18. Tent cities under bridges tripled in size. In 2024 to 2025, coroners recorded 378 hypothermia and heat deaths among rough sleepers. Women fleeing violence were turned away from full refugees 59,000 times last year. Suicide among evicted tenants spiked. Landlords issue no grounds evictions legally. Investors get tax breaks while first home buyers vanish. The government's only answer is more negative gearing. And another family just got the sheriff's notice taped to their door. Number 3. Great Barrier Reef bleaching event. March 2025. The 8th mass bleaching in 10 years. Aerial surveys show 73% of reefs affected from Cooktown to Gladstone. Water temperatures hit 34 degrees Celsius. Corals expel their algae and turn skeletal white in weeks. Tourism operators run boats to ghost reefs. Scientists say the northern third is functionally dead. Crown of Thorns outbreaks devour survivors. Farm runoff and new coal ports were approved anyway. Adani's Carmichael mine ships record tonnage while the reef starves. By 2030, even optimistic models predict 90 to 99% loss. The largest living organism on Earth is dying in real time, and the next marine heatwave is already forecast for February. Number 2. Cost of living mental health collapse. 2025 suicide hotlines report a 40% call increase. 1 in 5 Australians is on antidepressants. Youth mental health admissions are up 67%. Parents skip meals so kids can eat. Kids skip school because uniforms are too expensive. Power bills doubled, groceries up 30%. Food bank queues stretch blocks. Men in their 40s, the backbone, are the fastest growing suicide demographic. Lifeline can't answer 40% of calls for a lack of funding. A man in Geelong live-streamed his suicide after Centrelink cut his payment. The video is still online, and another Australian is typing a goodbye note right now. Number 1. Youth crime wave and political panic. Queensland and Northern Territory youth detention centres are at 120% capacity. Children as young as 10 are charged with murder. Car thefts and home invasions are nightly. Politicians suspend the Human Rights Act to lock up kids indefinitely. No education, no rehab, just cages. Recidivism, 95%. Remote communities gutted by fetal alcohol spectrum disorder and trauma get 0 early intervention. One 13-year-old in Darwin detention has been inside longer than he was ever at school. The Premier calls them monsters. The monsters were made by a system that gave up on them at birth. And the next stolen car is already doing burnouts outside your house. If you're still here, your mind is built for truths most people avoid. Subscribe to Decoded X, like the video, share it forward, and drop your thoughts below. The next story, goes even deeper. This was Australia breathing in this modern age. No history lessons, just the pulse under the skin right now. Next, we cross the ditch and cut open the United States' quiet little secrets. Same raw lens, same refusal to blink. Subscribe. Turn everything on. We'll see you in the dark.